time for another Master Passive Income show. My name is Dustin Heiner, and I help people to quit their jobs by investing in real estate rental properties so they never, ever have to work a job again. Now, in today's show, we're going to be looking at my stupid mistakes. Basically, I'm going to go through everything that I would go back and tell myself as everything I've learned, and if I would start over from scratch, what I would tell myself or what I would do right now if I had to start from scratch. So you're going to be able to learn from my mistakes, and where I messed up, you are going to succeed. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's jump into today's show where we talk about what you should do and what I should do if I had to start all over. All right, let's get started.
Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about investing in real estate rental properties with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
Oh man, I am super excited to have you guys here with me today, where we're going to be talking about what I would do if I had to start everything over, if I had to start from scratch with everything that I know. Now, I want you to get started investing in real estate. Now, I want to give you my free course. Text the word rental to 33777. That's rental, RENTAL, to 33777. I personally get those, and I will personally send you my free investing course. I want you to get started investing in real estate, and I want you to change your life. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that your value does not come from your job. Your value does not come from anything other than what you give value to yourself, through your God, through your family, through yourself. And so what I'm saying is that if you want to be a real estate investor, you should no longer be telling everybody, well, I work for this job and this is what I do. If somebody asks you, what do you do? No, your value is what you give and what you display to other people. So I want you to start telling everybody, you are now an investor. Even if you have a full-time job that is making every bit of the money, like all your 100% of your money comes in from your job, even if that's the case, that's still your side job. Even though it's 100% of your money, it's still your side job. You are an investor. And I have found the more people I tell that I am an investor, the more my business grows. The more people that want to invest with me, or more people that want to sell me their house, or more people that want to rent out my properties. I've found the more that I share that I'm an investor with a side job, the more I do that, the better my business gets. So I want to see you do that. Have that mind shift where you are now an investor instead of being an employee someplace else. You are now an investor. So go out there and grab that free course, a free real estate investing course. Text the rental, RENTAL, to 33777. Now, today we're going to be talking about how to get started investing in real estate rental properties and how you can do it, and how really to get into real estate is all it comes down to is number one, mindset, and number two, investing. And investing in yourself, in knowledge, but then investing your money into that property. Now, I am going to boil everything down for you really, really succinctly in order to invest in real estate. In order to get into real estate investing and to get started, honestly, what it really comes down to is money. Money is the one barrier that you need to get into real estate. Now, don't turn it off. Don't stop listening to this because you're like, oh man, I don't have any money, so I'm going to turn this off. The great thing is there are so many ways to utilize your money, but at the same time, other people's money. OPM, you've heard of OPM, other people's money. There are so many ways of doing that. But I'm going to tell you right now, the easiest way to start buying real estate and start having rental properties is with your own cash. And that's what we're going to be talking about a little bit today, is how we can change our mindset to become a wealthy person by thinking as the wealthy do. Now, what I want you to do is think about 5 years from now. Think right now. Put yourself, fast forward 5 years from now. Think in your mind, Where are you? What does life look like right now? You're walking around, maybe you're in a different house because you've been investing for 5 years. You have money to buy a better house. Maybe it's driving a new car that you actually can afford and not have to go into debt over. Maybe it is going traveling. Maybe it's not having to worry about bills again. Maybe it's literally not working a job again. I want you to put yourself 5 years into the future and say, what is my life going to be like? Once you have that picture, then I want you to look backwards. I want you to look backwards and say, okay, that's my end goal 5 years from now. Now, I want to work my way backwards and see what are the steps that are going to need to get there. So if I'm going to get started investing in real estate, I'm going to look at my situation now. You know that I just said the easiest way to buy real estate is with your own money. Now, here is the tips that I'm going to give you, because these tips are same thing, and I'm going to say they're not sexy at all. They're not like, hey, let's get rich quick, or hey, let's use other people's money. Let's buy with tax liens and deeds for pennies on the dollar. No, I'm going to tell you that investing in real estate rental properties is a long-term plan. It's a get wealthy plan. It's not going to be a get rich quick scheme. So if you're thinking, hey man, I want a get rich quick scheme, I just want to start making money and not do any work, or I'll work really hard for 5 days and then I want to make money, this is not for you. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you a map. I'm going to give you a roadmap. Let's say you're starting in Washington, the state of Washington, and you're driving all the way down south to Disneyland. Well, you could just literally start driving south on streets, but it'll take you a long time to get there if you ever will get there. I mean, you got Washington State way at the top, California at the very bottom where Disneyland is. Now, what if somebody gave you a map? And that map literally gave you the turn by turn, the step by step, the directions to get to where you want to go, which is Disneyland. Same thing with real estate investing. I'm going to give you these steps. And if you say, well, no, I don't want to take that step. Hey, I'm just going to tell you, it's going to take longer if you don't take these steps. I've learned through trial and error. I did things wrong, and I'm trying to show you how I did things wrong so you don't have to do these wrongs. Now, if I were to get started, I would do this first. I would, number one, cut my expenses to increase the amount of money that I can save. That's the first and foremost. That's the easiest thing. Now, it's not easy to go out and get another job or anything like that to increase your income, which we will get to in just a second. The easiest thing that all of us can do is cut some expenses. Like, let's just say, well, here's an example. I was literally building something for my wife's chicken coop. If you listen to this podcast, you know she wanted a chicken coop, and I was building some. Anyways, I was at Home Depot or Lowe's or one of those companies. I was buying some things, and a guy in front of me was buying, I don't know, whatever he was buying. And then he looks over and he sees inside that refrigerator, like the Mountain Dew or the Rockstar or the Red Vine or Red Line, I think that's what it's called. No, Red Bull. Anyways, he grabs a Red Bull, and it's like $4 or $3.50 or something like that, puts on the counter and buys it. Now, I'm not saying you should forego anything. I'm just thinking, I literally thought this. I personally would not buy that. That's $3.50 or $4. If I go to Costco and I buy a pack, if I really like them and I buy a pack, I can get them for maybe like $2.50 each instead of $3.50. Anyways, thinking of ways to cut your expenses, because in cutting your expenses, you're going to have more money that you can save for investing. I can't tell you how easy it is. I mean, you can imagine, but it's even easier than that. If you have cash to buy properties, man, the world is your oyster. And that's what you need, is to start saving money. And the easiest way is to cut expenses and increase your amount that you can save. My suggestion is get to 10% of your monthly income. That's the goal, is you want to get to 10% of your monthly income that you make from your job to put away for investing. And so if you're making $4,000 a month, put away $400. If you're making $2,000 a month, put away $200 every single month for investing. You absolutely must do that. Now, here's the next step that I suggest you should do. You should look at a way to increase your income and save more money, for future investing. So as you cut your expenses, you're going to have more money saved. As you figure out a way to make more money, you're going to be able to have more money to put away. Now, that's not saying you need to get a second job, you need to deliver pizzas, but it could be maybe driving for Uber once a week and getting all that extra money putting it aside for investing. It could be flipping items. Like, I'll give you an example. Friends of mine, Rob and Melissa, what they do is they literally flip flea market type stuff. Like, they were walking down the street and they found a chair. And that chair, they thought, hey, that's a nice chair. Maybe we can sell it. They fixed it up, wiped it down, wiped off all the, stains and stuff. And they listed on Facebook Marketplace, and they sold something that was for free to them for like $300. And then they turned that over and over again until it was literally $100,000 in inventory. They're now selling it all off so that they can then buy a property with that. And I'll link that to in the show notes. I actually interviewed them on this podcast, and I want you to go back and listen to it because they have a brilliant business model. They make money out of nothing, and it's fantastic. So increase the amount of money you make every single month so you can then put that money away to buy properties. Now, next thing is, and it goes hand in hand with everything else, is stop overspending where you're getting into debt and start eliminating your debt. I can't tell you how much debt is going to it's like going on a treadmill and you're just running in place if you have debt. It could be taking 2 steps forward, but then also 1 step back because you might be gaining a little bit of ground, but that debt is literally just sucking the money out of your pockets. Now, here's a good thing. Good debt puts money in our pockets. Bad debt takes money out of our pockets. When you have good debt, that's when you buy a rental property, you have a mortgage on it. You don't pay that mortgage, your tenants do, and you make money. That's good debt. Bad debt is if you buy a car and you have, like a friend of mine just told me he had a $600 a month car payment. My jaw almost hit the ground. I couldn't, $600 a month? How do you afford that? I mean, shoot, that's just a lot of money. And so what I'm saying is you want to eliminate debt. And here's what happens. Sometimes I get on coaching calls where I have potential coaching students want to start working with me and want me to coach them in investing in real estate, to show them the step-by-step process, give them everything and help them to build the business. But as we're going through the interview questions, because there's an interview process, I don't just take anybody on. As we're going through the interview process, I ask them questions like, how much money do you have saved to invest? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have any consumer debt like credit card, car loans, things like that? Do you have any debt that we have to worry about or pay off? Are you able to save money every single month? And if the students say, yes, I can save money every single month. Yes, I already have, $5,000-$6,000 saved up. No, I do not have any debt, or I'm currently paying it off. If they are already working on those things, then I can help them to invest. If they are nowhere near, like if they have $40,000 in debt, they have no money saved, they have no way to make more money to pay off the debt or save, I'm going to tell them, and what I do tell them is, it's not in the right position. Like, you're not in the right position. What you need to do is cut your expenses, eliminate debt, increase your income, and save for investing. Then call me and we can get you started. There are plenty of the people that are going to tell you, hey, you can get started with low or no money down and, just follow me and I'll show you how to buy tax liens on pennies on the dollar. I'm going to say, go ahead, go with them. That's not my model. My model is I work 30 minutes a month on 30 plus properties. I work 30 minutes a month and I built my business and it's a successful business where I make money over and over again. I can show you how to do that. Now, once you have your finances getting in order, you're starting to save money for investing. What you need to start doing is 2 things, and they go hand in hand, in my opinion. You want to get educated, and educated obviously is with this podcast, with reading books, with reading the articles on my site, or basically get knowledge in your brain on how to do the business right. On top of that, you want to start looking for areas of the country to invest. Now, you don't need to invest in your city or even in your state. You can invest in any state. In fact, I have people in Canada and Switzerland and Israel that are investing in America. And so I want to show you how to do that too. You can invest anywhere in America. You don't have to invest in your backyard or in your city or even in your state. So you want to start looking for properties. And if you go to the show notes page, masterpassiveincome.com/90, that is where you're going to see a video that I created showing you how to look for properties using Zillow. Go ahead and use that, utilize that and start looking for properties and educate yourself. Again, I want to give you that free course. Text the word rental, RENTAL, to 33777 so you can get my free course and you can get started. Now, people ask me, well, where should I invest? It's great we can invest all over the country, but where should I invest? Now, what I'm going to say is, depending on how much money you have, you want to buy a property that's accordingly, that you're also making $250 or more every single month. Now, here's the key though. You want to make sure that the total money coming out of your pocket every single month and the total money coming back into your pocket every single month is in good shape, meaning you're making a lot of money coming in and you're having very little coming out. The principle is the price of the home versus how much you could rent it for. So the price versus the actual value. You want to be able to find a property that you pay a little bit of money. Like maybe you get an FHA loan. You put 3.5% down, which of a $100,000 house, that's $3,500, but you could rent it out one side. Anyways, long story short, I have a whole nother FHA and house hacking podcast, which is way over outside the bounds of this one. Go back and listen to that one as well. But what I want you to do is find properties that you're going to have a little money coming out of your pocket, but you're going to be making a lot of money. And I will show you how to do that as well. Go again to the show notes page. I have that video on there showing you exactly how to do that. masterpassiveincome.com/90 or /90. Now, what you're going to be looking for, like the price of the homes, how much is the amount that you could actually rent it for and how much you would receive, what type of tenants you're going to be putting into the property, what type of schools, is it an area good or bad for schools in the districts there? Is the area have low crime or high crime? Or is it a more desirable location with good surrounding parts of the city? Are people moving into the city as opposed to moving out? All that stuff. You need to learn all that in order to buy in the right area of the country and buy the right property, because you might find the right city, or let's say you might find the right state, and then you might find the right city. But in that city, there's north, south, east, and west corners of the city. You might buy in let's say the southwest, and that's the worst one. But hey, it's a good price, but you don't know that you didn't do your homework, and you don't really know, and you didn't get educated to find the right property. We don't want to do that, so get educated. Now, also, one thing I want you to absolutely do, because getting money to buy the properties is always hard for most people who are starting. I want you to start talking to family and friends and let them know that you are now a real estate investor. Just like I said in the beginning, your value comes with what you give yourself. You are now a real estate investor with a side job. And like I said, it's 100% of your money, but it's still a side job. You are an investor. Start telling everybody that you know that you are an investor. Make business cards, make a website. In fact, I even have I show you how to create a business website for real estate on Master Passive Income. I can't remember what it is, sorry right now, but go there and I can show you how to do that as well. I have everything on there. I want you to start telling everybody that you are an investor, because this is now your identity. Because imagine yourself 5 years from now, you're walking around, you have, let's say 10 properties that you're making $250 a month. That's $2,500 extra a month coming in your pocket. And that is passive income. You're not working. You're working one time and you're making money over and over again. Now imagine if you had 20 properties, that'd be $5,000 a month. Oh my goodness. It's just going to get better and better as you grow your business. The next step, what I want you to do, and remember, all these show notes, all these steps are going to be on my show notes page, masterpassiveincome.com /90. Next step is start talking to local banks, credit unions, mortgage brokers, and establish relationships with people that have money. These banks and local credit unions and local banks and mortgage brokers, you want them to know you as an investor, and you want them to start shopping for mortgages for you, because not everybody has $1 million, or not even everybody has $100,000 to put on a house and buy a house cash. I started with $17,000. I saved up. My wife, God bless her, she was fantastic. She saved money. I didn't save any money. When we got married, she brought money into the family. And so that's why I told you from the beginning, we should start saving. So let's move on. Get relationships with banks. You want them to be in your corner, ready to give you money when you have a good deal. Next up, I want you to talk to realtors and wholesalers. Wholesalers are fantastic. I love buying properties from wholesalers. They make me so much money, and I pay them in return, just like I pay a realtor. So start talking to real estate agents and wholesalers as well to help you find a property. Tell them what type of property: 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,200 to 1,500 square feet. I want to, maybe find it that's going to have 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like I said, and you're going to have 2-car garage. You're going to give them the criteria, and they're going to go out and look for properties for you. Next step is you want to make offers with seller financing. You literally want to ask, hey, is the seller willing to do seller financing? Why not? I mean, if you don't have enough money to buy the property and you can't get a mortgage, let's say you got a bad credit, ask if the seller is willing to do seller financing where you're going to be paying them every single month instead of the banks. That could be a fantastic way. And I'll give you an example. Recently, I bought 3 single-family homes and a duplex off of an investor with seller financing. It was fantastic. I gave him $25,000 down as a down payment and the rest in seller financing. Every single month I pay him, I think like $700-800 a month that's going to him. And what's great is even with that mortgage payment or that seller finance payment, I'm still making $1,500 on that deal. And on top of that, as soon as that seller financing is done, which I think is the next like 5 or 6 years, it'll be all done. Once that is all done, I'm going to be pocketing $2,200 a month. Can you believe that? It's just absolutely fantastic. So you want to make offers with seller financing as an option. But then the next step is to continually make offers. Once you have everything all lined up, once you're ready to go, I want you to start making offers. You do not get any offers out. You do not make any money because you don't buy any properties. You need to get that offer out. Here's a bonus tip that every single property that you buy, I want you to negotiate the price down. In fact, I just had a coaching call with one of my students today. The seller was asking, I think it was like $92,000. He started at $86,000. I kind of think we probably should have started about $83,000. But the seller came down to $90,000. So already dropped the price down to $90,000. We're going to ask them to meet in the middle about $88,000, somewhere around there, but always negotiate. And here's another big bonus tip I'm going to give you. I want you to think about every penny that comes in from that passive income. You know, your rents minus your expenses is that passive income, hopefully $250 or more every single month. Think of that as money that's going to be bought into another property. It's going to be the money to buy in the next property, which is going to make you more money after you buy that property. So it's going to be turned over and turned over and turned over because it's going to be tempting. You might think, hey, I could use this money to go on vacation, buy a car, do whatever you want. Now, if you need to, I completely understand you need to go ahead and spend that money if it's a necessity. But if it's just for fun, for doodads or like a new TV, don't do that. Literally save every penny because every penny that's spent someplace else to Disneyland or vacation or a fancy dinner is one less penny that you could put into a rental property that's going to be making you money. Now, in this business about real estate investing, it's all about solving problems. You want to figure out how to solve problems, the seller's problems, or if the mortgage broker is saying, hey, I can't get a loan because of this, you need to solve that problem. So I want you to figure out how to solve problems. And so if I were to go back in time, I would think about how I can solve everybody's problems. So if I'm going to figure out, I don't have enough money to invest, like I don't have enough saved up, well, that's a problem. What's a solution out there? Maybe it's talking to my friends, like I already said, or friends and family members, or looking for seller financing, or finding hard money. I actually have interviewed, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, I interviewed Ryan Wright, who does hard money, and he has a brilliant way to get hard money turned into a long-term rental property. You buy it with hard money, refinance it, get a 30-year mortgage, conventional mortgage, and then make it money every single month because it's owned by you and is covered by a regular mortgage and you have it for long term. So there's so many options out there. I just want you to get started. Remember, text that word rental to 33777 and those are what I would do. Now, like I said, this is not sexy at all. This is not like, oh, hey, there's a brand new scheme or anything like that. People might say, I know, I would literally, because I have in my books and everything, I see comments where people say, oh, hey, look at this guy. He's saying, you know, a pro tip is to save money for investing. I'm like, yes, people don't do that. That's why it's a tip. People don't save money. People don't try to increase their income. People don't get out of debt. These are things we need to do before we can get started investing. So, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I want to get you pumped up. I want to see you invest in real estate, and this is how to get into real estate investing, and I want you to get started. So you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for being here with me. I will see you next week. See ya.